What's your biggest goal for spring?
Honestly, just building this team. Just getting everybody, close enough as possible, and being able to, look at the guy next to me, and I can say that he keeps me accountable. I keep him accountable. Just kind of that chemistry and that team bonding that each team out here is striving to do is just to continue climbing and getting better every day.
Same question I asked Terrell. I'm going to flip it back to you. What's your connection like been with him and some of these other guys?
Yeah, great start so far. These guys are real competitive. They're making really good plays. Terrell specifically has done such a great job. He looks super smooth out there, electric. A guy that wants to get open and wants to get the ball. So, you got to appreciate guys like that. So, being able to have him out there, I'm super blessed.
How much of an emphasis has there been with throwing on the move with you guys in camp? We kind of seen Coach Heward run you guys through some of those drills. Yeah. Is that one of the major things you're working on this game?
Not necessarily. Playing the quarterback position, you got to throw in awkward positions. You got to throw in, you can't really plan for a specific base. So, Coach Heward just does such a great job putting us in drills and, getting us in off-platform throws, just kind of like the off-script plays that people call it. Just being able to get ready for those because, sometimes things might not go our way. So being able to, improvise and be able to get better at that.
What are your early impressions of Jonas?
Super bright future for him. Can't wait.
Have you noticed a different vibe this spring as opposed to last spring, starting a little bit earlier, having more young guys out there with you?
Yeah, we got a great group of guys out there. A great group returning from last year. We got a couple transfers and older guys, especially for this freshman talented group. Which is a good combination of guys just wanting to work and get better.
Is there a different feel going against defense now that Gary Patterson's running things like in the competitive periods?
Yeah, it's a different feel every single day, honestly. So, they're doing a great job on their side of the ball, giving us great looks. Coach Gary Patterson got the guys dialed in for sure. So, I'm happy in the direction we're going on that side of the ball. Obviously offensively, we just got to be able to, minimize all the mistakes and just, make winning plays.
Coach Riley talked about becoming a more consistent running team. You guys had good numbers, but there were times when you didn't win those really big downs. How much of a focus has that been this camp?
Yeah, I think just being able to reflect on, our past and, the history of running the ball, whether it, we got to get better or not. I think, the emphasis is, just getting 1% better every single day, whether that be passing game or running game, really. So just, we had some struggles in the past about running the ball or whatnot, but, next play. So.
Any young receivers kind of standing out to you?
Honestly, all of them. They're just doing such a great job. I can't imagine the play that that they got right now. Just everything at school, LA, playbook. So, I think just with that is, they're doing such a great job though. So and they're making big plays out here. And super blessed to go out here each and every day to go work with them.
How would you compare their maturity level to some of the other freshman groups that you've seen over the course of your career?
Yeah, off the charts. Really, just leading up to this moment and the pre-spring walkthroughs and whatnot, just how dialed in they are and how bought into the common goal that we all have. So I think that's just the biggest thing that stuck out to me with those guys is just they're just really dialed in and they really want to win. So I think as a quarterback, I just continue to let them know how a fierce competitor I am, so they can understand why I am the way I am. So yeah.